Before I start this video, I have a very important note. I love Yakuza. I just finished the main line of games and wanted to talk about some of the weak aspects of the game's storyline. I still think it's awesome. I'll even go ahead and say that it is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time, right next to that funny stealth game. But how can we improve the art without criticizing it? Yada, you know the deal. I just thought that it needed to be said, so let's get back to the video. Today I am going back to my roots and doing a very unnecessary lore discussion video, but this time without the roleplay. Yakuza's story is very weird, complicated and interesting, but some of the times that exact story makes me roll my eyes furiously. Usually it is exactly when Haruka appears on the screen, but we're not here to talk about her. Our main topic today will be the killing, and I know that I'm kinda beating a dead horse over here, and this topic has been raped from all sides multiple times, but I'll do it regardless. Although my main problem does not lie with the whole me not kill thing per se, it lies with the fact that all characters are literal saints. No, even more than that, they are Jesus themselves. Majima especially, just look at him. People that are writing the story for Yakuza games are so afraid to make main characters even somewhat greyish. They are always painted in the most white colors possible. They cannot do anything bad. They are always good. Let's take Sajima as prime example. At the start of Yakuza 4, I was really invested in him and his storyline. I was really eager to know what kind of Kyodai does Majima have, as it was kinda teased in Zero, which I played first. And oh lord was I excited, a character hardened by pain and suffering that was betrayed by what seems like everyone, and on top of that, he's a convicted murderer of 18 people.
ご無断ですよ。死ぬほどじゃないですが、威力は相当なもんだったでしょう。
Rubber bullets. The infamous rubber bullets, which is just so stupid, so safe, so risk-free, and the only reason they exist is to make Sajima a literal saint. Now, that might have been a clever move to nail the plot point of all of his deeds for the Tojo clan being in vain, but I really think that it was not what they're going for. And while we're talking about Yakuza 4, let's bring up Tanemura. He's my least favorite protagonist of the series, being the most boring basic detective guy. We already have Date-san, why do we need a young Date-san? But the start of his storyline honestly got me interested. The chapter was called Kamurocho's Parasite, and it shows him being a corrupt cop, and I was like, wait a minute, is that not a sane character? Nah, they just forget about it and now he's just Jesus himself. Fuck it. Majima. His whole shtick is that he's insane and wacky and creepy. His main weapon is a fucking knife. Does he kill anyone? No, he does not. I understand that by the end of Yakuza 0, he literally cannot kill Dojima, because Nishiki is supposed to do that, and then say something about 10 years. But this guy, that almost killed the only person in the whole world Majima cares about? Nah, he gets to live. Actually, that can be explained quite easily, because Majima is actually using a rubber knife, which is not lethal, but pretty painful. And that honestly would be such a clever way to transition him into the mad dog we know and love, with this one kill, but that doesn't happen. Instead, he becomes a mad dog by playing with cabaret girls, which is pretty neat too, I guess. I understand that there will always be a debate of whether or not a person can or should kill someone, as only a god, if he does exist, can judge another man. But just look at how many characters would have lived if Kiryu or some other characters knew when to finish the job. If Kiryu killed Kuze or this guy, that probably should have died from that regardless. Tachibana would have survived. Nishiki arguably would have not died as well if Kiryu ended Jingu, the most disgusting pile of dogshit villain ever. Same with Yumi. Kazama would have survived if Kashiwagi or Kiryu killed Shimano, Ryuji might have again arguably lived, Rikiya wouldn't have to die and then be immediately forgotten for the rest of the series, Minea could have survived, although it is kinda the same deal with Nishiki, Hamazaki might have survived if him or Sajima finished off the boss prison warden, Yasuko wouldn't have to die if Sajima finished the fucking job, Akiyama wouldn't die in quotations to be then saved by a stack of Magi Ex Machina, and Kiryu wouldn't have to get shot a billion of times on top of that, so that Shoujins would have some more free time. And that is just the characters I got from the top of my head, I'm sure there are a lot more of them. But what is the most funny thing is that with Kiryu it actually kinda works in a way. He's supposed to be a legend of Komorocho, the legendary dragon of Dojima that in a city full of filth and scum serves as a beacon of hope. They emphasize that a bit in Yakuza 5, what I found to be really clever, and then they immediately ruin it in 6 by saying this. This does not work with anyone else in the series though. I get why people like Shinada or Akiyama would spare people, as they're just a bunch of kind dudes. Wait, while we're here, why is Akiyama a literal god on earth? Why does he fight like a god? Kiryu is, well, Kiryu. Majima is the mad dog and was trained by Komaki on top of other masters. Sajima was hardened by 25 years of prison, Shinada does that whole One Punch Man routine, Tanemura is a cop. Why on God's earth is Akiyama that powerful? The only thing he had was him being a hobo, and considering that hobos are kinda OP in the Yakuza universe,
Now go ahead and kill that man with a flock of pigeons.
it still does not explain why he can do this. No, there's one guy in the comments. No, the suicide training does not count, as he can do the shit regardless. I'm not saying that Yakuza should have gone balls out western type of storytelling and start killing pregnant ladies and ripping off doggos' heads, just to show how dark and evil the story can be. No, that will just feel and cheap, but this whole Batman approach creates so many of those dumb moments where you just go, yeah, okay, and start to neglect the story entirely. Like the dumb ending of Yakuza 4, where the bad guy grabs a gun to shoot someone after he was defeated not once, but twice. I legit was laughing my ass off from that. Even in Yakuza 6, in my opinion one of the stronger Yakuza stories, they start to make it very interesting, where you are really on the edge of your seat and then just do the most lazy bullshit ever, not even once, but twice. The worst thing about it all is that the characters, despite being very different and interesting, start to feel kinda the same, because they all share the same Batman trait that legit makes you sick after a while. It makes the story feel cheap and fake, which ruins so many amazing plots, character arcs and moments. It would be really nice to see a playable character that actually does cross this unpassable line and thus becomes a bit bittersweet. Not full-blown anti-hero mode, just someone who actually crosses the line. It's almost like the characters are allowed to cross this unpassable line only if they themselves die in the process. Daigo being the exception, obviously. And judging from, I guess now old name of the franchise, it shouldn't be that hard. Yakuza are all terrible people. They were a plague of Japan. Same with Mafia in Italy, if not worse. And yeah, that is just a cheap take, as human species will always glorify criminals. We were doing it for ages and probably will never stop. But still, seeing Yakuza be this is quite weird, although you do get used to it. And you know what? I lied. Fuck it. Haruka, let's talk about her. I hate this character with a passion. Doing the dances with her was fun, but oh my god, is she not the most boring character probably ever. She has one line that defines her whole personality. She is kind but naive. That's it. Her only function in the whole story is her being a damsel in distress for Kiryu to save, or his only weakness. She does not contribute anything more to the story, in fact, she only makes it worse. Nani? My dad is in jail for my sake? asking me to do one specific thing?
Bruh.
Nah fam, I run away from home, fuck some random bimbo on the street and have a baby with no source of income or a place to go home. Amazing character. She has no depth, she has no character arc. All she is just a dumb girl and very egoistical at that too. You have this whole orphanage depending on you and you specifically, and what, you're just going to run away because of a single tabloid article? Your presence here does nothing! Even if you leave it all behind, this place will still be labeled as a place that the Yakuza owns. Fucking hate this stupid character, that is why Yakuza 0 is the best. Oh, and also, fuck your requests. But on top of that, on top of all of that, the game stands as a monument of how to make a good video game. Some of the storylines are dumb and extremely unnecessary, but what makes this game and its story special are the characters. They're charismatic, they're interesting, they're different, they're not going out of their way to be badass and cool, because they are badass and cool, and the literal definition of the word Giga Chad. And these amazing characters are all interconnected and mixed into awesome stories full of interesting plot lines, mysteries, betrayals, some of them are also unnecessary and dumb, but nevertheless, and climactic, badass encounters that makes you have goosebumps out of just how fucking cool and satisfying the last battles are. I love it. Anyway, as it is more of a discussion video, please write what you think about all of this in the comments. It doesn't really matter if you agree or disagree with me, I am just really curious to see what other people are thinking about this. That is why, if you have never tried some of the other games before, you really should. Yes, even Yakuza 3, it is not that bad.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, and also, fuck Haruka. All my homies hate Haruka.